Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We've got 14 people, so we need 15. But I think we've got the majority of our counties represented. I see Kalamazoo, I see Berrien, and I see Cass, I see Allegan, and anybody here from St. Joseph? And I see Van Buren, of course. Okay, well, that's good. So if we get one more person, then we're officially. So I'm just going to start the general business that we can do without a quorum. So let me pull up my agenda here. Sorry. Here we go. Okay. So we can't do approval of the agenda. We can't do acceptance of the minutes. Do we have any elected officials who are here that would like to give a report? I do not see any. So I don't have a lot to report other than, the convention was on April 9th. We successfully passed through all of our amazing women, Dana Nessel, Jocelyn Benson, a lot of people for all of those other positions. So thank you all for attending. And Nancy, I see your hand.
Just so you know, the number of registered voters here, Nancy is present and Clark Gilpin is present. So that should make your 15.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that update. I really appreciate it. And thank you for being here this morning. Okay, cool. So I'll start back up at the top. Here we go. Okay, so we need to call the meeting to order officially at 10:07. There we go. And we have quorum. Thank you. All right, approval of the agenda. Let me get it on my screen. I got the minutes from last month here. Okay, approval of the agenda. The agenda was in the email that all of you received. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? Mike, I see you. Cool, thank you. Second? Rick, I see you. Thank you. Okay, all those in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Cool, we have an approved agenda. Appreciate it. Thank you. The district convention minutes from our meeting in March were emailed out to everyone in the email this morning. Unfortunately, I did not attach them to the one that went out on Thursday, but I will share my screen just a second here. There we go. Okay. So these are the meeting minutes from our district convention. I'll just scroll down very slowly so everybody can see them. Oh, here, let me put the link in the Zoom chat. That will probably help too. Chat. There we go. Okay, so the link to the minutes is in the Zoom chat if you would like a few moments to review. Otherwise, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our previous meeting.
So moved.
Thank you, Mike. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Okay, all those in favor of approving the minutes from our last meeting, please raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Okay, cool. That is good. All right, so back to our agenda. All right, so we don't have any elected officials, officer report, chair report. Okay, so like I said, not much to report since our meeting in April at the MDP. However, if anyone has any events or anything that are going on, I have been receiving and posting those on our Facebook page as often as I receive them. There's been a lot of canvassing events for our local elected, well, our candidates. And also there's been a couple of petition drives, especially for the reproductive freedom for all, given everything that's going on in the Supreme Court right now. So if any of you chairs, local people, if you're organizing an event and want it on our Facebook page, just send it over. Similarly, you can join our Facebook group where you can just pretty much post whatever you'd like and it'll go up automatically. So it's the summer, it's coming up into summer. Obviously the weather is better, so everybody's getting out and doing things. So we need to make sure that we've got good attendance on all of those. So if you have events, please send them my way and I will promote them as much as I can. I haven't heard anything from anybody and I don't see Ken on this meeting. So we did discuss at length at our last meeting about our financial situation. So those of you who may not know, previous to this cycle, so this group of officers and everyone was elected in February of last year. And prior to that, our treasurer basically just went, he was elected and then he didn't do anything. So we are behind on our FEC financial filings. We're trying to get that resolved. As of this moment, it is sort of stalled. We are waiting for the government to get back with us with information that we need to fix our situation. But because of the pandemic and everything else, they're behind. They have not returned that information to us. It's sort of like the IRS, if you ever had to deal with them. They can send you all of that information so that you can fix the problem, but they have to send it to you first. So we're waiting for that. We did discuss at length. I know a lot of people mentioned possibly closing our accounts to prevent fees from being assessed to us, because the longer that we're non-compliant, those fees get assessed to us. The unfortunate conclusion of that discussion, based on what we discussed the last time, Ken was going to go out and try and get more information. And like I said, I haven't heard from him if there has been a resolution on this or not. But the problem was that we are linked to candidate campaign accounts that they opened sort of to work with us. And if we close our accounts, they're kind of left in limbo. So we can't just close our account, which sucks. So I don't have an update on that, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't really have anything much else to report. Just if you've got events that you would like, please send them my way so that I can get them out there and get more people to attend for you. And yeah, if there's anything that I can do for you, county chairs, individuals in the district, please let me know.
Hey, Eleanor,
Yes, Rick.
2 questions, quick.
Mhm.
Does the 6th Congressional have a calendar?
Yes, we do,
posted
but it
somewhere?
hasn't been updated in a while. It was a lot more active when we were in that the primary cycle and the election cycle last year. But there is a form. It's just not very active right now. But yes, we do have a calendar.
Because I wonder if there was a calendar where each county could
Mhm.
post like when their fair is, or if they're having a parade or a community event.
Yeah,
something like that.
absolutely.
I just don't know where to find that, if it's on a Facebook, if it's on a, I'm not sure where it is.
No
Like I
worries.
said,
It's on our county website because it's our county
Mhm.
calendar that I shared.
Mike, is it,
Yep.
that's for,
That's
you're
for
talking about the
the
Van
whole
Buren Dems,
Yeah,
right?
you can find it on there.
Could other counties post to that calendar and then
Yeah,
everybody is able to access it or
Eleanor
access it?
made, yeah, it's an open calendar for viewing, and Eleanor made a nice form for anybody to make contributions, and a couple of counties do it pretty regularly.
Okay, good. Eleanor, you said you know where that form is or no? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's on our website, actually.
Okay, cool.
Which we also at some point will need to discuss our website, because obviously we're not going to be the 6th after next February. We have our domain name, Michigan6thdems.com. I don't know if Michigan Fourth Dems is available or CD4 Michigan. I don't know. We'll need to discuss that when we get to that point. But
Right,
at some point, our website is going to change.
sure.
Here
And
we
then-
go, calendar. Okay, so here's a link. I'll post this in the chat
Thank you.
to the actual calendar itself. But as I said, it's not very active at the moment. But there is a link on that page right at the top that says need to add an event. And if you click on that, it'll take you to a form. And using this form, you can post your event. And
Perfect.
it's a little finicky. So if you notice on the calendar that it didn't appear the way that you wanted to, especially if it's like a recurring event. So if it gets messed up, just let Mike or myself just let Mike or myself know and we'll fix it for you. But it should be okay. But you know how technology is.
Thank you. And then
Absolutely.
the second question is, can we spend money?
I assume we can. I mean, that was another part of the discussion that we had last month was, can we just empty our accounts by spending it toward causes that we feel are appropriate? And overwhelmingly from the discussion, because I reviewed this extensively, I listened to the recording last night to get all up to date on this. The overwhelming consensus was yes, and our PAC account can go to candidates, but it can also go to causes. And then we also have our admin account, which we can spend on stuff. So we have money available. Ken said at last check, it was about $6,000. I'm not sure if that was the PAC or the admin account, but we do have money. And I mean, we should probably spend it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that was the chair's report, the treasurer's report. Rick, did you guys have a meeting? Do you have a report to provide today?
I've got some information. We didn't, the only person that I was able to speak with this morning was Doug Cultra from Van Buren County. But what I've tried to do is I've tried to stay in contact with Allegan and Berrien. And I know Naomi, I think she's on the call, right? So she's actually a candidate now. So I've not had an opportunity to reach out and connect with her. And then the other person that I hope to connect with is Mariah in Kalamazoo at some point. But having said all of that, let me just give you some of the things that have been going on since March. So we didn't meet in April. I compiled a list of all of our Democratic candidates that are in the current CD6 in terms of state house, state senate, and our two congressional district candidates, just to kind of for everybody to review a little bit to make sure I wasn't missing something. And then the reason I asked about the calendar is my recommendation would be to try to coordinate calendars amongst the counties so that we can get people from Van Buren to go to Allegan, or Allegan go to Berrien, or Berrien to go to Kalamazoo, or Kalamazoo to come to Van Buren or whatever, and that sort of thing. So that's why I asked the question about the calendar. So that helped with that. We have Democratic candidates in all of our CD6 in terms of congressional, states, House and state Senate districts. I think maybe Naomi was our final one in her House district, so I applaud her for contributing and putting her name on the ballot for that. If I am incorrect in that and anybody wants to correct me, I would appreciate that. And then the one thing where I feel like, this is just in conversations with mostly Allegan and Berrien a little bit, is we did not get I don't think we have a Democrat in every of our county commission elections, which was something we were trying to push for in Van Buren. We were not successful there. I haven't had an opportunity again to get information from either any of the other counties on that. But I know we weren't successful in that in Van Buren, and that's a goal, one of John Wagner's goals as our new chair, to try to get that going a little bit better. And then the other thing I want to mention in terms of candidate recruitment, I want to make people aware of the fact local school board elections, I think, are as critical and crucial as anything else. I had an opportunity to attend the Berrien County meeting on Thursday. There is a group, an extreme conservative group in Berrien County called We the Parents. And Amy, I don't know if you wanted to address that, if you were going to address that in your report, and I don't want to step on your toes, but, and then you can add or whatever. I just wanted to point it out that this is an extreme group. They had their kickoff, I guess, press release, press conference last night in St. Joe. And I don't know if Amy has any updated information on that as well. But just a real brief, this is a group that they state their values are faith, family, and freedom. They've recruited, as far as I know, this is off their Facebook page or information that I gathered, 33 candidates across 8 Berrien County school districts. And each of the candidates believes that parents have the sacred, God-given, fundamental right to direct the care and education of their children, removing all forms of indoctrination, embracing patriotism, and welcoming, all expressions of faith. And we talked about this a little bit. Well, I didn't, but they talked about it at the Berrien County meeting a little bit. All expressions of faith, as long as you're a Christian, I think is where that is. So anyway, the reason I share that with the group is that if you are aware in your counties that these types of, or this type of group, or is kind of infiltrating, I'm going to use that term, into your county, to if you would be willing to share that information, I would be willing to help in any way that I can. I will tell you that I'm working with the Michigan Education Association in terms of trying to find candidates for school board, working most specifically in Van Buren County, but Berrien County is also going to have MEA, Michigan Education Association, is going to have a school board training in Berrien County later in June. They had the training in, I believe it was April, right? Jill Dunham led one, a school board candidate training there. These local school board elections are going to be crucial, I believe. That's my own belief on that. And then just a couple other announcements briefly. And then I'm going to talk about coordinating real quick, but where is it? I think it's June 22nd is that school board training. I have it on here real quick, sorry. In the, or maybe I don't have that on here. I apologize. School board training is going to take place, though. I think it's June 22nd in Berrien County. And then I'm going to let Jill talk about, they're going to do a volunteer training, I think, in Allegan County as well. But I'll let her discuss that just a little bit. And then the other question that I have for the group is, has the 6 coordinated counties in the past for campaigning for either candidates or on issues? Because what I see right now is that with the redistricted House and Senate districts in particular, that there are new counties like that 38th House district, Lakeshore district. It's Allegan, Van Buren, and Berrien. And I talked to Amy about this a little bit last Thursday about finding a way to maybe coordinate counties to come together to work for candidates or that sort of thing as well. So that's just a question, I guess, for the group. If anybody wanted to share that now, or if you wanted to share some information with me later on using email, that would be great as well. So, and I think
Rick,
that,
to answer to your question, from an Allegan standpoint, we really didn't have a lot of diversity. I mean, almost all of Allegan was in the 80th. And, we tried to help out, the Kent County candidate that had that area in our Northeast, but we were all in one Senate district. And so things were a lot more segregated. Now we're a lot more overlapping with each other. So I will talk about some of my plans to hold a campaign coordination meeting in August.
oh, perfect. Thank you, Jill. Thanks. And I appreciate, I'm just going to real quick say thank you to Jill and to Amy. Like I said, I wanted to attend their county meetings just to kind of see what was going on there, bring some ideas back to Van Buren, but just to let Allegan and Berrien know that folks in Van Buren are looking forward to working together on the election coming up. So that's all.
Thank you, Rick. Jamario, I see your hand.
Yeah, can everybody hear me okay?
Mhm.
All right, cool. So to kind of piggyback off what Rick Catherman said, when talking to the actual candidates, they are open to working with other candidates, whether those candidates are in primaries or not. They're open to working with nonprofit organizations, just coming in and out of different areas because it is because of redistricting. So I think if that's a move that is going to be made, the candidates, most of them that I've talked to, are definitely open. It's just, how are we going to coordinate it? Are we going to help them with their campaigns, or are we building a volunteer base through VAN ourselves? I guess those kind of would be some of the questions, because everybody doesn't have, I guess, equal time to put into things. But I definitely think that's a great idea, especially with me working for the MDP. It's hard when you're over multiple counties. And if someone like Bart, his district stretched so far, or someone like Ken Gain, or Annie Brown, or so on and so forth, they're in Van Buren, they're in Cass, some of them in Berrien. It just makes sense for everybody to coordinate. So if, going back to what Rick was saying with the calendar, oftentimes Berrien County alone has 4 events in the same day, let alone Berrien, Cass, and Allegan. They may have 8 events all within the same day. And then some people expect people can't make all those events. So I just think overall coordination with everybody, especially pertaining to some of these elections, because we want to make sure we win, because a lot of these seats are winnable. And then we also need to make sure we keep the seats that we have. So that's all I have to say.
Thanks, Mario. Any other questions for Rick on his report, or comments or suggestions? All right, as always, thank you, Rick, for your thorough report. I appreciate it. All right, we will go ahead to our county reports. Jill.
Yes. Okay, so hi, everybody. I am on my way to the women's luncheon with Miss Annie Brown. And somebody's got their hand raised. I don't think that's me. Okay. So we've been doing the opportunity tour. We have 2 more stops on the opportunity tour. We're going to be in Wayland on June 2nd. Oh, wait, no, we just have 1 more stop on the opportunity tour, Wayland on June 2nd. And then we're going to shift over for our June 21st meeting to the Leap into Action is our new theme. So June 21st, it's a Tuesday. We're going to be meeting at the auditorium for the Allegan Tech Center, and it's going to be all about the candidates being there with their volunteers, so we can train our volunteers to get out and canvass and talk to voters, because that's the whole game, talking to voters. Our campaign focus is going to be on the southeast and then the west side. So we're going to be basically working in Allison Marsman's County Commissioner District, with an overlap with Justin Mendoza for the House, and then obviously the 38th and the 786, which is the one that goes up into Holland. And then our County Commissioner District that is that southwestern corner. We are talking about having a fundraiser at the office. It was originally proposed to do it in August, but I think we might be switching it to September, because the temps should be a little bit more moderate, because it's going to be in the office and out in the parking lot out back in the asphalt parking lot. So I'm just nervous about doing it in August. And what I really wanted to do in August is to have a potluck at Pickle Street with all the candidates, and talk about the overlaps and the coordination of campaigns, the coordination with Joseph Alfonso's campaign throughout the district, and then the coordination with the House, Senate, and county commissioners. So I'm actually planning, and it hasn't gone out yet, but tentatively planning to host a Zoom call a week after the primary, so that we can just kind of do some brainstorming and just get some thoughts down about ways that we can approach coordinating our campaigns, And then we can kind of all digest that over the following week and then come together at the potluck to maybe kind of make a straw man calendar kind of. I'm kind of imagining at least in the areas where we aren't as competitive, where Mark Ludwig and Jared Polanowski are running house races that are not so competitive, and Kim Gain Jorgensen Gain, if they want to plan some canvassing so that they can work together within Don Doggendorf's county commissioner district, that would help us win Don's district, and it would help, with Kim. So that's kind of the thing that I want to do. We have the Allegheny County Fair Parade on the 12th of September. We have finally gotten a decline from Governor Whitmer. She's got another event conflict, but that was only because she waited for another event before telling us that she would come. So I kind of wish they'd have just said, yeah, you're not a priority, because that's the reality. So we're really working on trying to get Lieutenant Governor or Dana. I did talk to Dana's staff when we were at the Dana fundraiser, which was a blast. And kudos to Glenna and Marcia and Louisa and Amy Babe, because that was a fun event. So I think that's the main thing, but Allegan's really excited about our candidates having that competitive district in Plainwell and Otsego. Went to a fundraiser this past Wednesday with Justin Mendoza, and he's just such a rock star. So happy about that. Saw Larry at the Dana event, and he's just, a superstar also. So I guess the only other thing I just want to mention is that I'm planning on and really looking forward to hosting the in-person congressional district meetings in Plainwell as soon as, if you guys are open to it. We have a phenomenal Ransom library, and so we're looking forward to hosting and planning on that. Just let us know if you want me to reserve the room. And I don't know if anybody is me. Oh, and the school board is really important, as we've talked about. And our school board training was pretty good. We had a guy from Wayland, and that's important because they have they're getting a new superintendent up there. They've already run their superintendent out of the district in short order. And so I was really glad to see Jake Bless come to our training. And I think Plainwell's in good shape for the school board.
That's the Ransom Library in Plainwell, Jill?
Yes, it's on Sherwood, and it's a great library. We're right off the expressway. I think it'll be really kind of halfway between Battle Creek and Holland, and easy to get to from Kalamazoo. So I'm recommending that that's our new meeting location for sure when we become the 4th district. But even for this cycle, seems how we're campaigning for the 4th district. So whenever you're ready, let me know.
Makes sense. Looking ahead to the calendar, this is just sort of an aside. Eric, I see your hand. July, the July 16th meeting, which is our regularly scheduled third Saturday of the month, I will actually be out of town. So if one of the, oh, that's true. That's true. Okay, so we'll need to update the calendar for that then. All right, Eric, I see your hand.
Hi, I just want to remind everybody that Jill Dunham does terrific work, but it is not correct that Annie Brown is the presumptive candidate for House District 38. Joey Andrews is running for that district. There will be a primary. Joey has the backing of the unions. He has backing from the Democratic Party in Berrien County. He was central to the effort with the redistricting commission to establish.
I did not say anything about Annie Brown being the candidate. Where's that coming from?
Good, yes. Well, I just want to finish what I was saying, and I guess I'm just about done. But I think I simply want to remind everyone that Joey is, in my opinion, the likely candidate for State House in District
So,
38
is
after
that
the
what
primary.
you're supposed to
Thank
do
you
with
for
Annie
listening. I
Brown
didn't want to get
commercial?
into an argument. Good night. Good morning.
No, you just want to have a Joey Andrews commercial. That was
Just like
very
yours for
inappropriate.
Annie. Thank you.
I didn't say anything about Annie. I just said I was riding with her. I didn't say anything about her candidacy. All I said was, I'm here, I'm on my way to the women's luncheon, and I'm here with Annie Brown. I didn't even say she was running for office.
Chair Riley, point of order, please.
Yes,
Thank you.
yeah, let's get back onto track. I appreciate comments from everybody, but let's get back on. All right. Jill, are you done with your report? Thank you.
I am so done.
All right. Amy, if you'd like to give the report for Berrien County.
Gee, thanks. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, just as a point of, I'm not sure what it is, a point of something. We in Berrien County, I wasn't necessarily prepared to speak to this, but I just want to make it clear that we have, after a lot of thoughtful deliberation, decided that we will allow people to request endorsement from our party. I know a lot of parties have decided to just not do endorsements pre-primary. And I think it's pretty clear why, right? Like it's pretty tricky to do this in a completely fair, transparent way that doesn't hurt people's feelings and doesn't put people in a defensive posture, which is certainly not what we want to do as a party, right? We are the big tent party. We do want to be inclusive of everyone. At least that's where I'm coming from, right? So we decided that we would consider endorsements pre-primary. This is something that we're all going to have to be thinking about, thankfully, moving forward more than we have in the past, because we have lots of great candidates that want to run as Democrats, which is an awesome problem to have, right? If you want to characterize it that way. And so I've really tried and had some really great conversations with our leadership group to come up with a way that takes all of that into consideration and allows all candidates to request endorsement. What endorsement means then for us in Berrien County might be a bit different than what it means in other places. What it's going to mean for us, at least right now, is that we are kind of giving our stamp of approval to say, yes, this person is a good candidate, and we are happy to support them, to promote them, to assist them in whatever way we can, even pre-primary. But it is not saying that we are endorsing one candidate over another, unless we do. So in other words, we've only had one request for endorsement in this House District race that we're speaking about right now. And we acknowledged it. We voted based on our bylaws. We announced it at the last meeting, and we voted on it just this past Thursday at our May meeting. And that endorsement went through for Joey Andrews. We also did some other endorsements for Chokwe Pitchford, and yeah. So that does not mean that we are saying that we think he should be the nominee. All it's saying is that he's a good candidate. Annie Brown, for example, just made her request for endorsement to our party, which we announced at this May meeting, and we will vote on at the June meeting. And so that is our process. If anybody else has any other questions about that, or wants to have any further discussion about why we've done what we've done so far and how we've done it, we've created a very clear procedure and policy and a questionnaire and everything else that we're using to try to make this process as fair and transparent as possible. I would welcome that conversation. We're all learning as we go, I think, right? And I really believe we all have the same goal, to elect as many Democrats as possible to all of these offices up and down the ticket, which is all that really matters, right? And so I just felt like I needed to address that from a county perspective. I apologize for taking so long to do that. So I'll try to be quick on our update. We had our last meeting, our May meeting last Thursday. Thank you, Rick, for coming. It's always nice to have guests come from other counties. I completely agree with Rick 100% that this moment in time really necessitates us working together more now than ever. If we aren't, then we're not going to be successful in electing candidates, right? We have to be coordinating events. I was putting in our upcoming fundraiser as I was multitasking here this morning. I don't think it actually submitted, Eleanor, so I'm gonna have to get some help with that. But yeah, we need to get our stuff on the calendar, you guys, because I think I already heard somebody say something about something else happening June 2nd, which is when our next fundraiser is. And we need to be able to support each other because there's a lot going on right now, right? And we're going to need to work together. So we had our guest speaker at the last meeting was Tyra Harris Bolden, running for Michigan Supreme Court, right? Representative Bolden currently, it's who's running for Supreme Court. She was fantastic. I'm sure anyone who's heard her speak realizes how great she is. Had a great conversation about the importance of state judicial process. And then our action group update, our voter protection team is working very hard on getting more challengers and inspectors and watchers and all of those positions filled for the upcoming election. Our operations volunteer team is doing great work. We've gotten a lot of signatures on the Promote the Vote initiative, on the Reproductive Rights Initiative. We're doing phone banking regularly. We just established a Wednesday night volunteer in office time where people can come and do volunteering, either phone banking or postcard sending or whatever we're working on at the time. So that'll be every Wednesday night now. Our picnic is established. That's August 6th at 12 o'clock, Maiden Lane Park here in St. Joseph, Michigan. I'll put that on the calendar as well. Our South County Club is doing great work. Karen Kemp, I don't think she's on today. She's been very busy with rural caucus stuff that's happening, but she's doing great stuff. Our fundraiser is the next upcoming event, June 2nd at 6 o'clock in Benton Harbor at the Secret Garden. It's called the True Blue Gala. It's going to be our annual fundraiser that we've been trying to establish since, pre-pandemic. Few things have gotten in the way over the last couple of years, and so now we're finally doing it. Should have information about that up on the website and social media and everywhere else soon, so that people can start buying tickets. I know we created the Act Blue up link and should be good to go. Doing well with our grassroots fundraising, as ongoing. But this fundraiser will specifically allow us, since our grassroots, monthly donation stuff is pretty much covering our monthly expenses, then all of these additional fundraisers that we have can be very focused on candidate support, which is what we're going to be raising money for. Our precinct delegate program is going well. I know Stephen's on here. The date has passed for the formal process for requesting to be on the ballot, but that doesn't mean you can't be a write-in. We can still, do write-in. Since you only need one vote, you just write yourself in and vote for yourself and you're in, right? So Stephen's working really hard to keep that going so that we can increase our precinct delegates. Candidate recruitment and development, I think we've spoken about enough. We have some great candidates running from our county. Chokwe Pitchford running for county commission, Michelle Hannon running for county commission from the New Buffalo area. We still do not have a candidate for Niles City area. If anybody knows anyone in Niles City, we would still love to have those conversations again for a write-in possibility. We think that's a very winnable seat for us. And so, sorry about my dog, hang on.
Interrupted by a puppy party.
Brett Munchow is from the Berrien Springs area, also County Commission. Mamie Yarborough and Riante Bell, incumbents running again. Joy Andrews, Michigan House, Bart Goldberg, you guys know, and Kim Jorgensen Gain for Michigan Senate 20th. So those are our county candidates. I think that's about it. Sorry.
No worries, thanks.
Like-
All right, are there any questions, comments for Amy's report from Berrien County? All right, seeing none, let's continue on. Naomi, are you still on the call with us? Would you like to provide a report?
All right, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Thank you. I never know with my mic. Before I start, I know that if you were on the chair's call and got the chair's roundup, you heard from Emily Boyer that you could order maps of the new districts. Mine came yesterday. They're beautiful. So if you haven't ordered any yet, I really encourage you to do that. They're really nice. So, well, like everybody else, we've been busy here in Cass County. We tried to recruit as many precinct delegates as we could, and as Amy said, we did. It was hit or miss. In some areas, townships, we had many, and other townships we had nobody. So I'm planning to designate or find somebody, recruit somebody to be a coordinate recruiting write-ins, as Amy mentioned. We still have time to get people on the ballot. We've stolen Jill's idea about the opportunity tour. I think we've maybe revised it a little bit, but we're planning, I think we've got five, at least five now, five people have volunteered to host us in various sections of the county so that we can go. Some of these meetings might be in restaurants, others are in their homes or on their decks overlooking the lake. So our goal is to try to get people that maybe don't attend our regular meetings, but are strong Democrats to come out and meet with us just to get acquainted and encourage their more participation. Plus, we've all just missed each other during the pandemic. So getting together seems to be a really popular thing here in Cass. So we'll be doing that all summer long and into the fall. We have recruited 6 candidates for county commission out of 8 possible candidates. So we're actually feeling pretty good about that because 2 weeks prior to the deadline, we had nobody. However, as you may all be aware, Cass County, we had a member here in Cass County who appealed the newly adopted map, which divides our county into commission districts. And actually, we won our appeal. I hope you've all heard that. It's been on the news. The Court of Appeals threw out the map that was adopted. So that throws up all, the whole county commission election up in the air. And so the apportionment committee met again yesterday. At our next meeting, we're going to meet with the attorneys representing the commission. The map was thrown out on the basis of lack of contiguity. The judges determined that there was a point where one of the districts did not have a contiguous border. But they also went on to say that the contention of the members of the board, the Republican members, that the criterion that says maps shall not be drawn to affect partisan gain, they said that meant that you would be totally blind, pretend like you didn't know what the makeup of any of the districts is. And I said, no, that's not correct. What it means is we should know what the partisan makeup of each district is, and we should work to have as many competitive districts as possible, across the whole county. Well, the judges affirmed that Ludman's interpretation was correct. And they stated that the argument that the map was drawn to affect partisan gain was credible. That, however, they weren't going to rule on it because they had already ruled that the map was not valid on the basis of contiguity. So they kind of decided to sidestep the whole issue of ruling on that. They said they could have sent it to circuit court, where the members of the commission would have been forced to go and testify before the circuit court about their reasons for adopting this map. But they said they wouldn't do that, but that if the county committee adopted another map that split the city of Dowagiac, they would need to provide a rationale for that. And they directed the committee, it's in pretty strong language, that would be necessary. So the bottom line is that if the county commission, of which I am the apportionment committee, of which I am a member, if they choose to adopt another map that splits the city of Dowagiac, there will be another appeal. And then we'll start this all over again. So that's the threat hanging over the commission's head. As I said at the meeting yesterday, I think we all want this matter settled quickly. So we will see what happens. But in the meantime, all of our districts are up in the air. We don't know how they, what the boundaries will be. So it's exciting, but we're pretty stoked. I mean, I'm the one that was sued, but I'm pretty stoked that I was on the losing side for that. Carol Higgins is the new chair of the St. Joe County Democrats, and she and her team organized a really nice event. I'll speak on her behalf. A really nice event in Three Rivers last weekend on Sunday. They had all local candidates. They invited Bart Goldberg, Scott Starr, who's running for state senate, as well as myself and Roger Williams, who are running in the 36th and 37th districts. So they had a number of local candidates as well as the state and congressional candidates there. So it had great music. So it was really fun. So I want to commend her on becoming chair and taking over to provide some leadership for St. Joe County. We now have a PAC. The first time we've done this in Cass County. So it has $200 in the account. So we'll have to get busy on some fundraising to get some money in there so that we can support our local candidates. We've, I think I've mentioned this before because we purchased 2,000 cards from the Rural Caucus some time ago, actually, and we've been sending those out in batches of 500 to the various to strong Dems in the county that are not members or engaged in our county activities. And we followed up the postcards with phone calls, and I just want to mention this because it's actually been quite helpful. Of course, the people doing the phone calling have gotten a lot of wrong numbers and a lot of just people that don't pick up. But they've also talked with quite a few people. And in talking with people, they've talked to people who said, yes, please add me to your newsletter list. In a couple cases, we picked up a new member. And in several cases, we've actually received donations. So I just commend to you that this calling the strong Dems in your area who are not active can actually be productive, especially if you had good callers. Some of our callers are really amazing and they enjoy talking with people. And so it helps you to get good, useful information. In some cases, we found out that, people have had catastrophic events in their lives and they are unable to participate anymore and they'd like us to, take their names off the list. And that's good too, because you don't like to hound people that are no longer able to participate. So I think that is all I have to say about what we're doing down here in Cass County.
Cool. Thank you very much. And it's awesome that you've copied that opportunity tour from Allegan. That's really great. We're all inspiring each other to do really cool things. Awesome.
Right, exactly.
Cool. And you've also inspired me to get one of those maps because I've always wanted to have a map of the district.
There you go.
Yeah, that's cool. Awesome. Are there any questions for Naomi on her report before we continue?
Who do we get the maps from, did you say, Naomi?
I can send you the link.
Perfect, thank you.
Yes. If anybody else wants it, let me know and I will send you the link. It's for the Michigan Democratic Party, but I don't remember exactly what the link is. So, but they came really quickly too.
It's in the chair roundup email from the
It
the
is.
monthly chairs call. Here, I'll copy.
Yeah.
I will copy the link and post it into the Zoom chat.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you. You're more
And I'll also put it in the
proficient than I
minutes.
am.
It's an ActBlue link, so they're $25 a piece. You can get Senate maps by county, House maps by county, statewide maps, a map of your specific congressional district, state Senate district, state House district. Wow, they also have Whitmer performances to the Senate, Biden performance to the Senate map, House maps for both of those. That's cool. School district maps. They also have custom mapping if you want something else. But yeah, it's all through an ActBlue page that I just posted in the Zoom chat, and I will also include this in the minutes. There, cool. All right, then we will move on to Kalamazoo. Mariah, please provide your report.
Hey, everybody. Good to be here. First of all, Rick, sorry I couldn't make this morning's meeting, but I will link up with you sometime, hopefully in the coming days.
Thanks.
Kalamazoo, what's going on in Kalamazoo? So we have candidates for every seat, including county, well, I guess state level and down, obviously Congress as well. We only have 2 primaries in the whole county, which is great. I was really hoping for none, but of course, nothing can be that easy. And Amy, I feel you deeply. We are going through our endorsement process right now. We have endorsed 3 judicial candidates for the various courts in the county. And we have taken nominations for partisan candidates. We took a nomination for all those unopposed in the primary. And then we also took a nomination for all Democrats on the ballot, regardless of their primary status. I don't know what everyone else's bylaws look like, but we have the ability to endorse as many people as we want for any number of seats. So we can endorse 3 candidates for 1 seat. So we will see how that shakes out next month at our meeting. Hopefully it is a short meeting and a peaceful meeting. Would love that. Let's see what else. We have 3 new committee chairs for our membership committees and our campaign committee. So we have 2 co-chairs, husband and wife team, tag teaming the membership committee, which has been unchaired for at least 2 years, likely more. I don't think I have to tell anyone that membership is one of the most important ways to bring in money and support candidates. So really, really excited about that. And then the candidates and campaigns committee, Rick, I'll get you her name as well. She's actually in Greece for a month on a study abroad program still, but when she gets back, she is going to take over some of the candidate work and help all of our county commission candidates out, hopefully, or I suppose all of our endorsed candidates who need her. Which leads me to my next thing, which is just I have spent a ton of time in the last month helping the staff of state level candidates and others, of course, but sort of just, I know the MDP is out there trying, and there's other groups out there trying to get campaign staff trained up. But if you know anyone with a pulse who generally sort of knows how to use a computer and you think they would make a good addition to a campaign team, send them to me and I'm happy to train them on everything they need to be helpful to a candidate, because I hear, I mean, at least once a day from a different candidate every day, who do you have to help me run my campaign? Who do you have to help me run my campaign? And the answer is there's just not anyone out there. I don't know what the root of that problem is, but I'm just trying to do one-on-ones with everyone I can who has expressed an interest in helping out and trying to put them where there is a need, certainly in Kalamazoo County. But if there's folks like that in your counties, I'm happy to sit down with them and do what we can, because when you have good candidates lose all the time when they're not staffed well. So that's my little pet project I've been working on. I'm glad to have some help with that at the KCDP also when Ellie starts in June. What else? In our June meeting, prior to our business meeting, we are having the nominees for Supreme Court come and speak to the group. So Kyra will be there, and I think Sam will be there, and whoever else is the endorsed on that nominee list. Working on that. What else? We are in conjunction with the IBEW out in Kalamazoo doing like a labor training event for candidates only, sort of like, what does the process look like to get labor support? Where do you need to start? What does it mean? What is labor going to expect you to do as a candidate? I feel like a lot of candidates know that labor is important, but they just don't know how or why. So making sure that when we elect people, they are representing pro-labor values, and we don't have to ever worry about them not representing those values when they're elected. So we're doing that. We are also working to order yard signs. So we have a budget of $1,000 this year for yard signs. We're going to split that in half. We want to buy bands off our bodies and more We Believe signs. So if anyone has a good connection for where to get those, I usually get yard signs from Sawicki's out of Detroit, but those two signs will have to be in full color, and that like triples the price. So if anyone has any other recommendations of either local shops, ideally we would need a Union Bug on it, but just text me or email me or whatever, let me know. We're working on that. And if you guys want to get in on some of that too, and we maybe put in one large order, just holler, we can make that happen as well. And then I don't know if anyone else has one campaign organizers in their counties at this time. We are splitting our office with the one campaign. They're paying half our rent and we give them half our space. It's working out pretty well. The only thing I'd ask on that front is we're really trying to get the MDP to include survey questions for state level. Honestly, any Democrat who's unopposed, there's no reason why their survey question shouldn't be in the MDP's script. And I've gotten a lot of pushback from the one campaign saying they're not sure if they can do it. They're not sure if they can do it. So, I mean, at least for state house and state senate, there's really no reason why they should not be able to include that data point. So if you do have a one campaign organizer in your county or a connection there, if you can just push that issue on them, say, hey, are we going to have our candidate survey questions included? Because I think if we can all kind of do that, it will put the pressure on them to make that happen faster. Because the more people we have out there collecting data for everyone, the better we're going to do in November. So, yeah, I think that's it. We have a second vice chair vacancy because our second vice chair decided to run for county commission in a surprise move. So he stepped down just to remain unbiased. We're looking for someone to fill that role, but otherwise, I think that's it out of Kalamazoo County.
Thank you, Mariah. I may be interested in some of those signs. I'll send you a message. Any questions, concerns, comments
Yeah.
for Mariah?
I just want to say really quick to Mariah, she's absolutely right, and I appreciate your offer in terms of getting people up to speed to be campaign support positions of any kind, manager or otherwise. I have the same interactions with people all the time, and my latest thing is we have kind of a growing young Dem movement in our party, and I think that's where we maybe can really try to find some of these folks. It's something that a high schooler, you know, upper level high schooler or college student could get a lot of benefit from, and they're pretty usually tech savvy and fired up. And so I'm gonna make an announcement to our Young Dem group about your offer to help with training, Mariah. I really appreciate that, because yeah, we need to start building that support team, because you're absolutely right, we can't win without that. Thank you.
Rick, I see your hand.
Mariah, what's the best way to contact you? Text, email, phone call?
Text is best, please.
Okay. All right, very good. Thank you. That's all.
Any other questions for Mariah before we go on? All right. So Naomi, you said that there's a new chair for St. Joseph. Are they here? Okay. Anybody here from St. Joseph to provide any sort of report?
No, it doesn't look like Carolyn's here.
Okay.
It's Carol Higgins. I can send you her contact information.
That would be appreciated because I'm not sure that I have it. So I can
Okay.
at least make sure that she's on our mailing list and on all of my contact lists. Cool. Appreciate both of you. All right, Van Buren. I didn't see if John is on. I don't see him. Anybody from Van Buren here
I can
to
give a-
provide a report?
I can give a brief update. I'll be brief.
Sure.
So Van Buren County trying to move our meetings around as well. Typically have done those meetings at the intermediate school district. We did have a meeting at the Paw Paw Library, which was very well attended. We had candidates. Sean McCann actually came to that meeting to introduce himself, since his Senate district will now include, I think it's Antwerp Township. I always defer to Mike to help me with that. I'm still trying to wrap my head around townships and stuff. So Sean McCann was there, Jared Polanowski was there, Kim Jorgensen Gain was there, Joseph Alfonso was there. It was nice for them to have an opportunity to introduce themselves. In that our May meeting was over Zoom. I was unable to attend, but that was a brief meeting. We're excited about the June meeting will take place on Thursday, June 2nd. Sounds like there's a lot of things going on Thursday, June 2nd across the congressional district. But we're going to meet here in South Haven. We haven't done a South Haven meeting since I've been involved with the Van Buren Dems the last couple of years. So it'll be exciting to bring a meeting here. We're going to do it at the Historical Association of South Haven, which is on Hubbard Street here in town. Our featured guest speaker is going to be Mitchell Robinson. Mitch is running for the State Board of Education. And I've reached out on behalf of the Van Buren County Dems to the Van Buren County Education Association to invite their members to attend, teachers, any union members, any of the EA union members to attend. So we hope we have a good turnout. Also planning to have Kim Jorgensen Gain, Joseph Alfonso in attendance. Jared, I think, is going to try to attend as well. In terms of just being there, having a, being there to answer questions and those sorts of things. I know that Joey Andrews is unable to attend, and I'm not sure if Annie Brown is able to attend or not, but Annie's a member of the Van Buren Dems, so she may be there to give a campaign update. The other thing that we're going to do is there's a progressive group in South Haven called the Progressives United of South Haven. PUSH is the acronym. And they are going to be there with the 4 petitions that are currently being circulated to explain the petitions and to invite people to sign and be circulators of the petitions until the deadline for each of those petitions as well. So excited to be here. in June in South Haven in terms of what the Van Buren County Dems are doing. And really that's, I guess that's all that I have at this point. Mike, is there anything you wanted to add?
Nope, I've been out of the loop from my work schedule and dealing with my mom's estate.
So anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Any questions for Rick before we go on? All right, we are on the state party report. Mario, if you're still with us. Or Corey, whoever would like to provide a report from the MDP.
I'll jump in real quick here. And if Mike Jeremiah has anything, excuse me, got a frog in my throat a little bit. If Jeremiah has anything to add, please feel free to jump on after me. So just to talk about what we talked about a little bit earlier about the maps and everything, the wall maps. Project A3 and MDP are providing those maps. I sent the email out for those maps a few times this year. So if you, as I know, Chair said that she was going to put those maps in the chat and everything like that. But also, if you like those maps and link to be able to order those maps, I can provide you with that link also in the future. And then on top of that, tonight is the legacy dinner the MDP is having in Detroit. So that's happening tonight, the big fundraiser. And then also for candidates and then also county parties and clubs, we also are doing our gang run printing program again this year. That is to help candidates who are running for office or even county parties and clubs save on the cost of printing costs when it comes to literature and postcards and business cards and things like that. All the printing is union made, and if you're more interested in want more information about the gang run printing program, I can also provide you with the PDF kind of brochure of prices and reasons why gang run printing is beneficial and a cost saving measure for candidates and clubs here in the Democratic Party. And just before I shut up, just want to also remind everybody, because we kind of had a little bit in this meeting already today, primaries can be very contentious, as we know. If any of you remember the 2018 congressional primary, that got very nasty at the end. And so I just want people to be mindful that it's important that we hear the things that we actually heard and not things that we thought we heard, because a lot of things that are said now, people will still remember on August 3rd, the day after the primary. So, and we all have to work together from August to November. So just be mindful that just because you support a particular candidate does not mean everybody else in the party is going to support that candidate. And that's the reason why we have primaries. So please be sure that you comment on things that you actually heard and not things that you thought that you heard. And that's all I have to say.
Thanks,
Hey, Corey,
Corey.
I would really be interested in the gang run printing info. Could you put that in the chat maybe, or?
Yep, I can do that.
Because we're in the process of doing lots of printing right now, so.
Actually, it's kind of a PDF, and PDFs are kind of funky in the chat.
Oh.
Yeah, but I can email you that information.
I can email it to you too, Amy.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Any other questions for Corey or Jamario, if you had anything to add? Oh, and I should also highlight, so we had the opportunity to nominate 2 members of our district for the Legacy Dinner Awards, and we nominated Rick Catherman and Deshuna Robinson, and that's well deserved very much. So congratulations to both of them.
Eleanor, I was going to wait till the end to address that, but I am humbled and honored to represent the 6th Congressional District at the dinner this evening. I am able to go, and I thank you very much. It means a lot, and keep working to elect Democrats. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Corey and everyone else. Okay, so we're on to unfinished business. We didn't really have any unfinished business from our last meeting, so that is blank on our agenda. And we also don't really have any new business besides just getting together and talking about candidates and doing all of our stuff. So unless anyone else has any new business to raise, I will allow people to raise their hands if they have anything else to discuss with the group. All right. Kim, I see your hand.
Hi, everybody. My name's Kim Nagy. I jumped on this because I am the state Senate candidate in the 31st that has a little bit of Allegan. It's the Laketown Township. And I've known Jill for, a long time. I'm former chair of Ottawa Dems and have been very active in 2nd Congressional. So y'all are going to be my new congressional district because I'm now in the 4th. And so I just wanted to introduce myself, say hi, and learn who all of you are, because I'm sure going forward I'll be working together. So I appreciate very much the invitation, Eleanor. I'm so pleased you put me on your email list, and it was really great to hear from all of you. I lived in Niles for 2 years when I first moved back to Michigan. So I have some familiarity with, south of me, and we loved it there. We had a great experience in Niles and moved back to Ottawa because that's where my family is when we moved up here. So please check out our webpage, votekimnagy.com, and send anybody who you know that is in that Laketown Township, or I overlap with Larry Jackson. We are doing a lot of stuff together. We're doing a lot of campaign coordinating up here in Ottawa and in that little section. So send people to our webpage or give me a ring and let me know, what I can do to help and who we need to meet. Thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. And thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. We're all a new CD4 family. Rick, I see your hand.
Yeah, do we have an endorsement process for the 6th Congressional?
We do, and traditionally, it's not explicitly stated in our bylaws, but sort of we have a agreement from previous things that we don't endorse prior to primaries. And in general, we've usually only endorsed in the congressional seats, but we are a body and can do what we wish. So if that's a discussion that we want to get on our business for next time, then that's probably something that we should do, especially considering that, well, it's May now, June, July, the primary is in August, to be determined. But yeah.
Thank you.
We do have an official process, but we've had the agreement that we're not going to do it before the primary up to now. That could change because we are a living body.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. Any other new business discussion? Anything anybody wants to bring up to the group? Okay, cool. Then we're on announcements, good and welfare. We're sort of already in announcements, good and welfare technically, but anybody? Okay, cool. Well, I will respect everyone's time and we can adjourn at 11:19. So everybody have a great weekend. I know that the weather out there is kind of crap, but be safe if you're canvassing. Good luck. And yeah,
Eleanor,
if you need anything from me, let me know.
Eleanor,
Yes.
I just said, which I've tried to swing by and pick up those signs from you today, maybe.
Oh yeah, sure.
If you can text me your address or put it
I
in the
absolutely
chat,
can.
that would be great. Mike,
Yep.
and I'm looking for you about getting signs for our June 2nd too, so. But anyway, if you want to put that in the put that in the chat real quick, Eleanor, and then I'll get it, and then if I can. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Hang on just a minute. Let me write it down before you leave the meeting.